What's good, everybody? And today we're going to be talking about gacha burnout. More specifically, burnout when it comes to Wuthering Waves. I know there have been multiple people who have been thinking of taking a break from the game. I know I've said I'm taking a week break just before 2.7 to kind of refresh my brain and my experience of the game. I know there are other creators like Ethan who is taking a little bit of a backseat. He's like playing World of Warcraft and like other games at the moment. There are people who are like, you know, kind of just doing their own thing and waiting for 2.7 to drop. So I decided, you know what? How about I ask the community directly, and I ask the community themselves what they currently feel about the state of everything and if they are feeling any kind of burnout from the current situation. So I posted this tweet where I said, are you feeling WuWa Burnout? Or are you someone who is starting to care a little less these days because of all the new games coming out? I want to know what you guys are thinking right now. Let me know in the replies. And I kind of figure people are thinking two minds, right? The lack of combat events, the lack of events of things to do in WuWa would just naturally make people log in less. When there is physically less to do, people might start caring less. They might not be playing as much, literally because there's no reason to. They might have done all the content in the game. They might have done every quest. They might have done everything and are like, oh, I don't feel that much incentive to play, so maybe I'm not burnt out, but maybe I'm not playing as much. And equally, there are so many gacha games coming out in the near future. We have Duet Night Abyss, we've got Neverness to Everness, Arcanite's Enfield's coming out mid next year, well, early next year. Ananta might have a beta next year, like who knows? All these new games coming out that are getting hyped up, maybe people's attentions are placed elsewhere. So I wanted to know, oh yeah, Chaos Zero Nightmare as well, exactly. Blue Protocol Star Resonance. There's lots of games coming out, and I'm just wondering, maybe we have a wandering eye, or do people have wandering eyes? I don't know. So I wanted to ask, and I thought maybe I get a couple of responses. I got 115. We got 115 responses, which is a lot. That's a lot of responses. So we're gonna go over some of the top ones and talk about them and discuss what people think. First reply we have by the absolute anime goat Nicholas Light. Love this dude, absolutely awesome. W reacts, the W react man. He says, I think it's one of the most consistent games out there. High praise. But people that want groundbreaking updates every single month are out of their mind. There's gonna be mid/normal updates every now and then. Some games are lucky to get a single good update. I personally believe they go all out every month. It's also okay to stop playing for a bit, let the updates stack up, then come back when there's much more. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this is a sentiment and a feeling that a lot of people have. I think we have to be aware that Nicholas Light comes from the perspective of like a story enjoyer. He is a guy that reacts to the stories, does all the story quests, and is less so involved in like the end game or character building side of things. So maybe he doesn't have that perspective of like, someone who maybe engages with the end game a lot or all the events they do might see him saying they're going all out to maybe kind of be like a lie, considering that they haven't gone all out on events, right? But I think people can agree, especially with 2.7, that we are expecting cinema to happen in terms of the story. If they're fucking ignoring all of these like other events, if they're ignoring anything else, combat challenges that people want, the story better be good. I think we could all agree, right? The story better be the best it's ever been. They better have spent all their resources, all their dev time, everything to make this the most peak finale experience, if that's the case, right? It's not just about going all out on a patch. If they're going all out on just the story, they better make it good, because I think a lot of people who enjoy the end games and stuff might think, I don't know if they're going all out if they don't have content that appeases absolutely everybody. And the second point that he has, it's also okay to stop playing for a bit. Let the updates stack up, then come back when there's much more. I used to, when I wasn't like making like content for gacha games, this is how I would actually play my games. I would come back every couple of months, maybe even every 6 months, and just like have a binge session for like maybe like a month or two, playing these games, catching up with the story, leveling my characters, and then being very passive about it for the next 6 months. And that's how I used to play my gacha games. I was never like a religiously daily login person. I would have like a month or so where I would do that, and then I would like leave it and be very casual here and there. I would log in. That's how I used to play games. But now being like a content creator, I'm way more inclined to keep up and try and log in and do my dailies. I've kind of changed my habits a bit on that front, but I kind of agree with the sentiment. It's okay to either play other games. Play other games, or like let them stack up and come back to it later. I'm not saying that, oh, if you're not enjoying it, just go play another game. That's not the take that I'm making at all. It's at the point where like, if you've given your feedback, if you've done everything, if you said what you needed to say, and it's still making you feel upset, or you still have that feeling of disappointment, at that point you should distract your mind with something else, right? Because nothing else you could do at that point. You said your piece, you've given your feedback, and then it's an okay thing to go play another game. I'm obviously not saying, oh, I don't like it, just go play another game. Obviously you should say your piece, do your stuff in the surveys, and then move on. So honestly, I think this is a take that it's mixed, but I think it has an underlying sentiment that a lot of people do agree with when it comes to WuWa. And I agree, hey, it is one of the most consistent games. They've been consistently providing like really high quality like story patches for a lot of people, and whether people like it or not, the story is the biggest seller point of WuWa at this point. It used to be the intrigueness of the combat mechanics, and now it's the story and the story presentation, because WuWa has gotten the rap of having the best like storytelling and visual presentation of like any gacha right now. So that's kind of a W. Next, we have my lovely girly Age. I'm just in it for the story, but that's me with every gacha game, basically. Yes, I love Age's story reacts. I always look at her clips. I always see the highlights. Big fan. So as long as it keeps being good and fun, I'm vibing. Honestly, same. This is how I feel. I will come back for all the stories. I will play them. I will enjoy them or not enjoy them, but either way, I will be playing them. So agree. My story peeps are you know, we're gonna be eating this patch, okay? That's just a fact. More like WuWa Rainy, who is the best shit poster around, and an awesome editor for my clips channel. If you haven't subscribed, you should do. There's lots of awesome stuff on there. W Rainy. More like WuWa Twitter Burnout. Gacha forums like to argue for fun. Guys, chat, type 1 if you think Twitter is a cesspit. Do it. Type 1 if you think Twitter is a cesspit. Type 1 if you think Twitter is just like the worst thing that society has created. Yep, 1. Exactly. Twitter is just the worst. It's been the worst product that has been made recently. It's made people argue. People argue over the dumbest things, and everyone gets rage baited and feels the need to like participate in arguments that don't matter. People feel the need to participate in arguments that don't matter, and it makes it worse. It creates this like snowballing effect where suddenly everyone's involved about the dumbest shit, like character shipping. Oh, I'm shipping Rover, female Rover with Augusta, or Yuno and Augusta I'm shipping. Ew, Yuri shipping? I hate you. You're a bomb in the like, who cares? Like, why are we arguing over ships? Why are we arguing over characters? Why are we arguing with VAs on Twitter? I don't know. Twitter is honestly the worst place, and it literally I get like minus points to my health. I get my HP knocked off every time I go on Twitter, but yet I still can't help but contribute to the rage bait, and I can't help but scroll through it multiple hours every single day. I'm an addict, is what I'm saying. I'm an addict. Get me out of here. Chair, my awesome and based editor, who's probably editing this video right now. Game fun, me play. Hey, I can't disagree with you there, man. The game fun, me play. You know what? That's like W advice, to be honest. Tanker, lovely Tanker. W Tanker. I love WuWa. Still, I am not doing events I don't like, but I still play the game daily and don't feel burnt out. I will say though, I am way more busier nowadays, which helps me not feel burnout. Very excited for the next updates to the story. I mean, this is called having a healthy life gacha balance. You play your gacha games when you want to, and then you go and live your life. That's pretty important. So this is someone that is actually having like a balanced life. Isn't that crazy? When we're not constantly like absorbed into something. I think a lot of people who play WuWa and are very, very like invested emotionally because they like playing the game, it means a lot to them that it's hard to like separate yourself. But once you make that healthy separation, it's very easy not to feel as intense feelings for those things, right? So I think everyone, if you're feeling very like legitimately angry about like the whole 2.7 stuff, like if you're actually genuinely legitimately angry and it's like moved you and frustrating you, go outside, touch some grass. Like you need to separate yourself from these games, because like you're not going to be happy and it's not good for your health. Vincent Remether, who, bro, he's made some pretty interesting videos about WuWa story, kind of like critiquing a little bit, that I kind of liked, so you should go check him out. My friend got tired and quit the game. It's mostly due to the fact that the story was lacking and he couldn't really find characters to care about. This is a really interesting point, because a lot of people think the story is a massive W. Yeah, a lot of people think the story is a massive W and they really like the characters. I think there is inconsistencies with world building and stuff. We can talk about that another time. So the fact that someone actually thought the characters and stuff story weren't for them is interesting. And I have a feeling if that's the case, they're probably not going to be enjoying much else WuWa has to offer, because there isn't anything else. There's no combat events or challenges. So if you like the story and there's no fucking events, bro might as well go on holiday. Bro should just uninstall, unironically, just uninstall for a while until something else happens. That's all I can say. Rogue Killer, the absolute boy. I'ma be real, my third eye is starting to open and I'm starting to see through these gacha games. Ooh, what does he mean by that? What is he? That's so cryptic. I'm starting to see through these gacha games. I'm starting to see through them. He's not wrong though. They all end up being the same in one way or another, right? Like you do a bit, you leave them, you pull, spend money, you do the content, you leave them a bit, you spend, you pull. It's like, that's what it is, right? Frost. Gacha games have always just been there to keep me entertained during game droughts. The quick update cycle and weekly content keeps me fresh, and getting bored when there's nothing big for me to play. That's fair. For most people, gacha is that in-between game. When you don't really know what to do, you boot up your gacha, do your dailies. There's that thing in the middle to take your mind off things. I think for most, that's like how a lot of people play. That's why like gachas have been like a mobile game predominantly, because you literally just fucking whip your phone out when you're doing something or you're keeping yourself busy. You whip your phone out, play your silly little gacha game, and that's it. Hey, free entertainment. WuWa is the only gacha game that I am currently playing, and it's def my fave of all the gachas I've tried in the past. I'm a day one player, but recently I've been feeling a little burnt out. I still didn't do the 2.6 quest, and I feel no need to log on to the game these days. Interesting. So this person has WuWa as their favorite gacha. They have another 2.6 quest. They felt like a little bit, but now maybe they haven't felt particularly compelled by the recent story. Maybe they haven't felt compelled by the recent characters and not really that particularly like interesting to them, and that's fair enough. I think I've heard like a lot of opinions of 2.6 being kind of like mixed altogether. It's nothing spectacularly amazing. It wasn't a Filova type discussion. It wasn't a 2.2 or even 2.4 kind of story. 2.6 was made more like milquetoast, I feel like, in like excitement. It was still good, but in terms of like hyped excitement and expectations, people are just way more looking forward to 2.7 being the finale of the game. Got burned out around 2.3 and dropped the game. Oh, bro, the anniversary. Oh, the anniversary, dude. Oh, yeah, a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, that anniversary was buns, bro. That anniversary was shocking. It's a shame because 2.4 was one of my... I think 2.4 might be one of my favorite patches of WuWa. Yeah, I think 2.4 was one of my favorite patches of WuWa. I thought it was so great. I thought it was actually one of the strongest that they have. Cabinetz 2.6 to save up a bit for Galbrainer. She looks cool, but already getting bored again of the mediocre events. Probably gonna drop it by 2.7 again because the game feels like a waste of time in all honesty. That's quite scathing, actually. That's pretty scathing of a take for WuWa. Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, man. All right, we'll go through a couple more. I have been burning out little as of recent. Still haven't done the second half of 2.6, and as a whole I'm finding myself slowly less interested in the story. It's just a little too all over the place and too long that I forget this is the same story from Minnesota. I do think that WuWa doesn't help itself with its world building. We have the overarching theme of like the Dark Tide and the Leviathan, that coming up, like every patch is like, how are we fighting the dark tide this time? How are we dealing with the dark tide? And there's less tying it together, but I think 2.7 is gonna be that patch that does that. And if it doesn't have a great tie-in to everything, you bet your backside I will be one of the first people to critique about it. 100%. Let's do one more. Misfit Surge. I haven't done a lot of the events lately. I do still do the story within the first week, but I think my problem is characters. I'm not free to play by any means, but I haven't pulled since Cartathea. I wanted Yuno, but had no use for her. Didn't care for Augusta or Fox Girl, I can't remember. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, this seems like a case of like, you just don't see a character fitting in within like your roster, but maybe you just haven't really been pulling in general and didn't feel like you wanted to. You haven't pulled since Cartathea. If you haven't been pulling as a free-to-play, you should have a lot of pulls then, and you should be able to pull for kind of whoever you want. This kind of suggests to me that maybe you haven't been logging in pretty regularly. Yeah, cause you seem to be someone who does the story then kind of logs out, and maybe you're not a daily loginer. Because otherwise, you would, if you've been saving since Cartathea, you would have an overabundance of asteroids to kind of pull for. So I'm kind of feeling that you're very extremely casual about how you play gachas, and guess what? That's fine. That's totally okay. If that's how you feel, that's fine. But also, Yuna's just a good unit to have. She's cool. But maybe Galbraina or Chiwa might bring you back. But anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, guys, we have a lot of people. We have a lot of responses to this. I'm gonna scroll down and do one from like near the bottom. Would we have one that has like a couple of replies to it? From Clangbang. Someone has made a Clangbang Twitter account to post this. Oh my goodness. WuWa hype for me is as strong as it was back on release. I can't get enough of this game. No other gacha game has drawn me in like this before. I mean, I would like to think that, considering you made a fucking Twitter account RPing as an Echo. This is like autism levels of like care and attention to a special interest. You know? Like this is great. I would hope that I would like to assume that you can't get enough of this game. Like what is this? Actually, if anything, I would suggest maybe, I don't know, socializing with another human being. I'm kind of concerned for you, in fact. If you want to RP as a Clangbang, I would like to think maybe you should go talk to some other normal people too. But you know, hey, it's great that you love the game, and I hope it's keeping you happy. I hope it's keeping you happy. I play the game super casually at times and super sweaty other times, trying different teams for endgame when it resets, banging my head against holograms every once in a while, and just playing the game at my own pace. No burnout, and I'm still having no burnout, and I'm still having, I guess, fun with old and new content. Hey, if you're having fun, that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters if you're just having fun. So yeah, that's a W. I feel like that's, bro, it's a lot of the similar responses. It's a lot of similar responses. We have a lot of burnout from what? Lol, the game treats us well and I'm the target audience. This response seems a little bit aggressive. Why is that? Why does this tweet come across as like a little bit aggressive? Burnout from what? I don't know. Yo, why are you having burnout, bro? The game treats us well and I'm the target audience. So, hey, if you're enjoying it, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. It's just there's other people out here who, you know, maybe just don't feel the same, and it's okay. We can accept that opinion and understand that it exists. Yeah, bro sounds a little butthurt. I don't know why. It's okay. Listen, others' opinions being different from yours isn't gonna hurt you, you know? But hey, you know, good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. So, that is the responses to why people might be feeling burnout with Wuthering Waves at the moment. I love doing this like community polling stuff, like whether it's like the Discord calls or it's like the tweet stuff. I think it's fun and I think it's interesting, and I just like hearing people's opinions from themselves directly and seeing what the response is. So hey, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I'm live almost every single day, videos every single day. You know what it is. Okay, you know we're out here. We're being super silly, super goofy, super awesome. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.